You are about to hear from 5 homeschool graduates, ranging from about 18 to their mid-30s, all answering the question in my last video, which is, do you feel like you have missed opportunities such as university? So keep watching and I will be asking the next question at the end of this video. So before we get started, I just really wanted to say that when creating this video, I was really unsure how I was going to edit it. I'm very new to editing and I had no idea what I was doing. So when I reached out to the 5 homeschool graduates, I just asked them to just do a little video or provide me something that I could read. I said, I will stitch it up together, and I'm just new to this, so learning how to stitch it is interesting and it is definitely a big learning curve. So I really hope that this video isn't too choppy for you. I hope that it's as smoothly as possible. I've definitely learned a lot that I'll be taking with me further into my journey. So, always the first few are always a little bit awkward, a little bit embarrassing to watch back after years of experience, but I'm not there yet. So we'll just have to grin and bear it, and hopefully it's not too bad. I had to admit, when I first saw this question, I got really excited. And then I got a little bit nervous because I thought, do I even know any homeschool graduates? But then I got thinking, and it's incredible how many I actually do know, and one I actually grew up with and have known for most of the time that I've lived in Australia. So let's get started with Liz, the homeschool graduate who's my longtime friend.
Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Liz Varanen and I am a married mum of 2 from New South Wales, and I am a second generation homeschooler. So I was homeschooled all the way through, from the beginning through to the end of year 12. So I never actually set foot in a school, and I'm now homeschooling my eldest. This is our 2nd year. So when I finished homeschooling, I got a job as a receptionist at a small business for a couple of years. From there, I entered the public sector. So I got a job in a court registry, and I held a few roles there for a few years. Then after that, I got an inquiry officer job at an independent statutory authority, and that was really, really interesting and good as well. And that was, it was a lot of fun. So all in all, I was in the public sector long enough to accumulate long service leave, which was fantastic because that was handy when we got pregnant with our firstborn. I took all my maternity leave, all my leave, exhausted it all, and then after that I knew that I would want to be home with our kids, so I ended up resigning that job. So it was to be home with the kids, but also I missed the flexibility of being able to be home and just that flexible lifestyle. So then my husband and I started a business to support the family as well, and we've been doing that ever since. And then also I'm writing and looking at working on doing my own thing as well on the side. So I've been up to a whole bunch of stuff since homeschooling, really, and it's been great. I can only speak from my experience, obviously. I don't feel like I missed out on opportunities like university purely because I had them and then decided not to take them up. So I was and still am a very high achiever, always like to do well in everything. So I think I always assumed that I would get to the end of year 12, go to university, get a degree and do all of that stuff. So I did apply to uni and I received an offer to go. But then I wasn't sure what I wanted to actually do at that time, and so I thought, why would I bother going when I wasn't 100% sure on it? So I didn't take it up and I entered the workforce instead. So, and that was, there were multiple pathways to get into university back when I was homeschooling, when the internet was still a baby. But I think there's even more now, which kind of excites me. But yes, the short answer is that I don't feel like I missed out on opportunities with university.
Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing your story with us. There are actually 2 of the 5 homeschool graduates who are very private people. And when I asked them, they were like, I'd love to share my answer, but I don't feel comfortable being on camera. and I'm a problem solver by nature, and I want every single person who comes on here to feel so comfortable they can share their story and still remain in their comfort zone. And so I'm going to be reading two of the homeschool graduates. Brayden is a 20-year-old homeschool graduate who lives in Queensland and is a private person, but he still wanted to share his answers through me reading it, and I'm so grateful for him being willing to share. I grew up in quite a relaxed homeschool household, doing approximately 10 hours of structured learning per week during high school. In grade 12, I completed a Certificate 3 so I could experience learning outside of home. In grade 13, which is the year after I finished school, I completed a business diploma. This gave me a high enough rank and the required English prerequisite to apply for the vast majority of degrees. During this time, I also completed an academic writing via Open University, completing that with a high distinction. I went on to apply for a degree, which I was accepted into. So no, being homeschooled for 12 years did not affect my ability to be accepted by university at all. Thank you so much, Brayden, for sharing your story. And I'm starting to begin to see a pattern here, so let's continue to see what Olivia's experience is.
Hi, my name is Olivia. I am 21 years old and I am from Queensland. I was homeschooled for 10 years, with 3 years attending high school, 8, 9 and 10. Wouldn't recommend it. Happily should have stayed homeschooling, which I did return to for my 11 and 12 studies. The question, no. I did not miss out on university at all. I attended throughout my last 2 years of high school, starting year 11 and 12. I attended on a scholarship, studying journalism, just following my own interests. I also worked a busy work week and was completing studies as well. Great, set me up with great time management skills and really welcomed me to adult world with how vast and crazy it really is. I'm very lucky to have that opportunity, and I don't believe I would have received it if I wasn't homeschooled. I think homeschooling has really set me up with a great means of communication between adults and other peers, being acceptable and open to everybody, being able to mingle, being able to be more confident in myself and my dreams and my goals, and knowing that I can and will achieve them, even if it takes 10 years to do so. I think homeschooling is a great thing, and I'm very, very glad my mum gave me this opportunity, and I will be doing towards so to my own children, with the links I still have to the homeschooling community. But yeah, no, definitely have not missed out on that one. Definitely not for everybody. I think as a parent, you understand your child what's best, and by believing that you can homeschool your child, you're going to set them up with those tasks and goals of knowing that if that's what they want, they can reach it and achieve it. But no, thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Olivia. I totally agree with her on that last point, that homeschooling isn't for everyone, but it certainly doesn't hold them back from being able to attend uni or be successful in their life, whatever success means for them. But we're only finished from hearing from three people. So let's see what the newest graduate has to say. This young woman is willing to share her story via me, and she's not willing to have her name mentioned either. I can assure you she's real, and her privacy, as everyone's is extremely important to me. She is 18 and lives in Queensland and finished school last year to enter the workforce. So let's hear from her. Okay, my answer is twofold. I have found that the older I got, the more non-homeschooler friends I seem to have acquired who are my own age. This has led me to see what it's like being an older teen in high school and all the fun things that schools put on for them, like formals. I think that if you've never been homeschooled before and you're starting out at an older age, I can imagine how much more harder that would be. However, there are opportunities, obviously, depending on your location, where homeschoolers have formals, but I still don't think it's quite the same. All this being said, I do not regret leaving high school and coming to homeschool in grade 7 because school is not a nice environment. It doesn't provide any future opportunities that I can't receive by being homeschooled. Sometimes I do get a little sad that I've missed out on the school formal, even though I've been to a homeschool formal, but that feeling only sticks around for a short time. And if I'm honest with myself and you, so many people who have left high school feel the same way I have. Plus, the formal or the fun event only lasts for one night, so it's not worth the years of pain for one night of fun. I've even seen how people who have just left school miss it because it provided a routine for them and they kind of feel lost and without direction because they've been doing the same routine almost their entire life. Whereas I've had the opportunity to have a more real life routine, so it wasn't so much as a shock to the system as it has been for so many of my peers. And I really like that I've had more say in my life than my peers. I also didn't miss out on university. I could have gone, but I chose not to. I've chosen to work instead. So all in all, I don't regret it. I just have periods of sadness only around the loss of large school events. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. I think having someone tell you things that they've missed out on or things that they get sad, but then reasons why they wouldn't change it, really should help give you a very big picture on where they're at, even at that age. So I hope that her answer has helped you think about things that even if they do miss out in school, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth the years of pain. That's from her perspective. Your child might have a different perspective or a different outcome, but that was hers. And our lucky last graduate is a 21-year-old from New South Wales, who I have the pleasure of knowing in real life from when I lived in New South Wales. Thank you so much, Sophie, for sharing your answer.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm 21 years old and I've been homeschooled my whole life, and I live in New South Wales. I don't think homeschooling has made me miss out on any opportunities at all. To use the example of university, I've just finished a Bachelor of Music. I've just graduated, and I was able to do that without an HSC or an ATAR. I just did some online university through Online Universities Australia. I started when I was about 15. Anyone can do it if you're over 13 years old. And I just did a couple of units and then got good enough grades to be accepted into a bachelor degree. So I don't think homeschooling has limited me in that way at all. In terms of other opportunities, like I am a creative person. My bachelor was majoring in music theatre, and so I did a lot of community theatre through my homeschool life as well. If anything, being homeschooled, gave me the freedom and the time to commit to those things. People who went to school would do school productions and school musicals and stuff like that, but I spent my whole childhood performing in community productions and other people's high school productions, and so I don't think I've missed out on any opportunities or been hindered by homeschooling in any way whatsoever. If anything, I've just been allowed more time and more opportunities to pursue the things I love.
Wow, it's just so inspiring to see all these amazing people and all they've accomplished in their life. And from some of their answers, it seems as though it was because of homeschooling's flexible nature and that they were able to be placed on their own path of their dreams and able to accomplish it from an earlier age, that it makes it just so much better and easier for them. And I'm so happy and excited to be a part of this homeschool collective, to be able to give my children this opportunity. I really hope that this video, even if it's a bit choppy, has really helped you understand what it's like for those 5 people to graduate from homeschooling. And I hope that it gives you some ease of mind that homeschooling does not stop you from being able to succeed, does not stop you from missing out on any opportunities. And I really hope that this video has been helpful for you. Okay, so Now on to picking the next question out of the jar. Okay. How do you overcome the paralyzing fear to take them out of school? It's a really good question, and one that is going to be a bit tricky to answer because it's so different for everyone else, and everyone will have a different perspective and a different reason for taking them out of school. So I hope that I'm able to find just the right person that's going to be able to help you overcome that fear and be able to make the right decision for you and your family, feeling confident. Until next time, take care. Bye.
I came here because when we hear the word earthquake, we often think of large-scale natural disasters, but they can happen on a small scale too.